So about a week ago, I came across a website. I think I was looking for making molds. I'd run out of my room temperature molding material, and it's made out of silicone, liquid silicone, and I thought there's got to be some way of replicating that without actually having to get RTV molds. So I came across a channel. I don't know the full name, or I can't remember the full name, but it's CRAFSMAN, and he's really awesome. I mean, I was just pumped when I came across this channel because it's a lot of fun to listen to him, and he's got some really great approaches to making crafts, and a lot of his techniques are transferable to jewelry making. So I'm just going to pull out some of these molds that I ended up making, and I'll tell you what I'm going to end up doing with them. So I had some little jewelry pendant items that I had gotten from a bead store, and one was actually a brooch, and it's this parrot. I don't know if it's going to pick up all the detail in there, but anyways, it's very detailed. It picks up all the feather lines and the eyeball, and a couple of years ago I made a sand casting from that. So this is the little silver sand casting that came out of it, and I have been kind of stuck on what I want to do for a bail, and I'm thinking I'm going to make a branch for a bail, and then set a stone in there, and I might also set a stone in the bird's eye. But honestly, the detail is amazing. So what I'm going to do is, because this is silicone, and I'll set up a link to his page on how to do this, but I'm going to fill this up with the carving wax. So that's the green matte carving wax. Put it on a cup warmer, and then I'm going to take my heat gun and melt the wax into that mold, and then I can actually do sand casting with those hard wax castings. You can't do it with soft flexible wax. It has to be hard carving wax. And then I also did an owl. There you can really see the detail, and it's amazing. Like, just a super channel, and lots of great ideas. So, which brings me to etching again. So I'd been watching a few of his channel, or a few of his videos, and he was doing some etching using ferric chloride and I think muriatic acid, and I am just not a fan of those because they're, number one, very hazardous to work with, and they're also hazmat disposal, so you can't just dump them down the drain, even if you neutralize them or dump them out in the yard or whatever. You know, don't do that. So that's why I like the electro etching, because the electro etching solution is recyclable and reusable time and time again. Anyways, I've always had a trouble with using the photo paper, the laser toner photo paper, for applying resists. And I watched one of his channels or one of his programs on the etching, and he uses a heat gun. And I was like, Craftsman, come on. How is that going to work? I'm putting this on a hot plate, and I'm covering it with an iron, and I'm pressing on it, and I'm doing my darndest to get that resist to stick on there, and it, you know, it's a 10% chance sometimes if it's going to be a good resist. So this morning, after watching his channel, his video, sorry, I'm getting into brain farts here. Watching his video last night and watching him use the heat gun, I thought, okay, I have to try that. So I tried it this morning, and lo and behold, the first time I heated the piece up for about a minute on high, and stick failure. So it started to peel off, and then I thought, okay, let's increase it to 3. Boom, success. Like, seriously, success. It was stuck on there so good that I had to scrub it really hard to get it off there again. 3 was a little bit too high. I find that 3 minutes was a bit too long. I find that the resist the toner actually got so hot that it smeared a bit on the metal piece. So I think between 2 to 3 minutes is your sweet spot. And so I know for a fact that it works with this photo paper, and that's a big deal because this stuff is the hardest stuff to get to stick properly using traditional techniques, i.e. an iron or with a hot plate underneath and then the iron on top. It's not the greatest method. With this though, it's probably 90% success rate. I watched him do it with the press and peel paper. That worked out very well for him. I'm going to be doing that as well. And I'm also going to be using the laser transparency paper. And I'm going to do them for 2 to 2.5 minutes. And each one may end up being a little bit different. This I know definitely works at 3 minutes, and probably in between 3 to 2 minutes of heating this metal piece up works awesome. And then when you apply it, this is going to be the challenging part, is because this is going to be super hot. It almost gets to pre-annealing temperature. It was starting to discolor, which is how hot it gets. But I'm going to suggest that you use a pair of tweezers and then you lay it down at the top corner and then hold it with your burnisher, plop it down, and then stabilize it and then start burnishing it. So obviously, you know, that moved because there's no heat to make it stick. But once you lay it down, that toner melts right away, and that allows you the opportunity to start applying it to your piece. So let's just go for it. Hey Siri, give me a timer of 2 minutes. So it's actually starting to discolor a little bit, and I can feel the heat coming over here. So we got 26 seconds left to go. I'm going to get my paper in alignment here. You won't be able to see the metal from that angle, but it's actually starting to... Okay, there goes my timer. Off that goes, and then we'll lay that down at the top corner, and I smeared it again. That's how hot it is, and then we just start burnishing. So I just smeared the top corner, and hopefully that's all that got smeared. I'm going to take this now into the wash-up room or the laundry room, and I can see the pattern coming through. It looks good so far. I know you can't see it from your angle, but I can see the dots of the pattern, and I think that's going to be really good. Okay, well, I'm a bit disappointed. Definitely not disappointed in how this resist applies. The heat gun is, seriously, in comparison to the battery etcher, compared to the electrical plug-in type of etcher, this is probably on par. It's amazing. So that's how it turned out. It's the best I've ever seen. So I wish my hat cam hadn't have had a malfunction, and I ended up not being able to video the removal of the paper backing. But I think what I might do is just do another one, and then I'll show you how the paper backing peels off, because that's kind of important. I'm not even going to bother with the laser transparency or the laser press and peel, because if this is working 100% for me and it's applying that easily and it's that inexpensive, I'm not going to spend the $39 on 20 sheets of this, or $60 for 100 sheets of this. I'm going to spend $20 for a sheet, for 100 sheets of the laser glossy photo paper. And that's that. All right, let's get another application set up here. So I'm all set up for the next paper resist, and if you look at this, you can see it's a bit hazy, and that is just the fragments of paper that have been left behind after I've peeled it off or rubbed it off in the water, and that will not affect the etching. The etching will eat through that or work its way through that. That's what I found in my experience anyways. So we'll see how it does in the bath. But anyways, let's get started on this next piece. I've got a little pop art design here that I'm going to put on there. And I'm not too worried about getting it centered or anything like that, because it's not a centering design. I'm going to set my timer again on. Hey Siri, give me a timer of 2 minutes. Okay, there we go. So the metal has been prepped in the traditional way. It's been given a bit of a scratch finish with some steel wool, and that just roughs up the surface so that it gives the toner something to stick to. And then it's been washed with the Dawn dish soap just so that the water shoots on it, and then I've not touched it with fingerprints, and so it's grease free. I can see that it's already turning color again. So we're getting close. This is sterling silver, and it's turning a bit of a pale golden color, which is like the copper oxidizing in there. This is one of my alloy blends that I make, so your silver may end up being a little bit different. But look for some color change regardless. Oh, there goes the timer. Okay, so I'm going to shut this off, put this down, and I'm going to be less of a spaz on this one. Get that lined up, and down it goes. Okay. And if you want to use press and peel and you want to use the transparencies, you're on your own for that. You're going to have to do your own experiments because I'm just going to use the photo paper from now on because it works and it's super easy. And then I'll just let that cool down slightly. And that's cool enough now for the toner to be stable. So I love using these silicone mats. They're basically silicone cookie sheets, and because silicone is heat stable for high temperatures, they're great to use, and they cool down very quickly so that you can handle them. They're not at all scorching hot, so you're not going to end up burning yourself. And I'm going to say that's good to go now. So here's my bucket of water. And all right, so here's the silver with the pop art design on there. And so you stick it into the water and you just let that soften up for a bit. And you can start rubbing in the center with your thumb. And then you want to be careful with these overhanging pieces. Best to probably cut them off before you start rubbing, and I find that the less there is to be peeled off, the better. So that should be pretty safe right now. Those edges are the first to go, and then sometimes the rest will follow. So it's starting to peel away there, you can see that. Just like the proprietary brand. So you can start to see the design coming through. And you just keep rubbing gently. Don't, scrub it. You just want to roll it. Oh, I'm batting 100% average. Actually 3 in a row, because I already did one this morning to test it out and make sure that it was YouTube worthy of presenting as a viable technique, because I hate presenting stuff that people can't use. And yeah, this is, whoops, floating around right now. This is definitely the best method of applying a resist that I've ever. I'm just stunned that it sticks so well. So anyways, there we go. 2, 3. Other one from this morning, and again you can see the hazy bit of stuff on there, but again that will come off in the etching solution. And yeah, happy days. Honestly, I am just thrilled beyond belief that I can use that that laser glossy photo paper for etching resist. That's it's like Christmas, birthday, and happy Kwanzaa all rolled up into one. Thank you, CRAFTSMAN. Enjoy, and check out his site, his channel. It's definitely a worthwhile view.